Trump vinyl stickers, only $5, folks. Fuck Trump vinyl stickers, only $5. Fuck Trump vinyl stickers, only $5, folks. Fuck Trump vinyl stickers, only $5. Fuck Trump vinyl stickers, only $5. Fuck Trump vinyl stickers, only $5.
Hello, welcome back. I spent much of my last couple weeks at the Toronto International Film Festival, the most attended film festival in the world. It's very big, very corporate, but it's very hard to ignore, especially for me and many people I know who make films in this city. What the festival represents, what its goals are as an art institution remains an open question, and something a lot of the Toronto film world is sort of reckoning with. This isn't really an attempt at film criticism, more just a portrait of how me and some people I know felt in a large-scale encounter with art in such a short period of time. Recurring themes we noticed, what they said about the world. Probably the most excited audience of the whole fest was my first midnight screening of Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. It's described on Wikipedia as a Canadian time travel mockumentary adventure film. I'd say it's probably the only film in that subgenre. The midnight audience is always very interactive, responsive. They kind of like engage even with like the pre-show ads, like clapping along to stuff. And this film in particular had big love and energy in the room because the original show it's based on is kind of a local classic, and this film ended up being probably the most Toronto movie ever made.
No, it felt like a superhero movie, and their powers were being Torontonians. We beat Toronto. Like this is the natural end of Toronto. Is this?
Toronto,
yeah. It is the ultimate midlife crisis movie. Like, where do they go from here? This is Matt Johnson's Mishima.
I see it as sort of like a last goodbye to him, like being like local and cool, and now he's doing the Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is running away with neon.
Yeah. What is this pod for? Is this just for fun?
It's not a movie pod. This is the first movie-related episode.
Oh, really?
The next film I saw was also Canadian. It was called Levers, and it was directed and shot by Rain Vermette. Incredibly atmospheric, experimental film about the sun not rising for a day. Feels kind of mythic, like primordial, but like cozy, and like a warning for darkness within us, within humanity.
We're not going anywhere good, that's for sure.
I just love how it embraces like pure darkness in the images. Most times when you're making a film, like the conventional wisdom is to shoot it brighter than you're gonna make it in the end. But it sounded like here, like they had to keep reshooting when nothing would show up on the scans. But it leads to this like apocalyptic, kind of like dusky, dreamy film where it's like these strong, like monolithic shapes, figures, and just pure blacks. And it embraces the unknown. And Rain seemed to think that is kind of what we need to do in this moment.
Like, I don't think a 3-point narrative is going to help save us from the end of the world right now. And I think watching something that sort of skews how you see the world is maybe more helpful. Only what we don't know is going to save us right now.
Another film that I saw that felt apocalyptic was Oliver Lax's Sirat. It's about a father with his son looking for his lost daughter at a desert rave and going deeper and deeper into the desert and kind of losing himself on the way.
This is the best I've seen so far, and it was very ambiguous, it was dichotomous, it was dreamlike. It's about like questioning as to what is reality and the idea of like escaping reality. Probably because we have all these amenities in a first world country, like you have bars, clubs, you have drugs. At the same time, you have life, and there is always sort of like a push and pull between like relaxing and experiencing reality. What is the right thing to do then? What should we do to find a way through? I guess there is no way through. It made me feel thrilled, excited, horrified, petrified, extremely sad.
I've been noticing a theme in a lot of the movies I've picked, either like alternative present/futures, post-apocalyptic, or talking about the apocalyptic present that we live. Never do I see so many at the same time to create a understanding, a mood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe this is the response to our current time. Even like I watched Power People, and they were also speaking about change. And if they were like, even if you're not ready for it, like it'll happen. You can feel it and it's happening.
Yeah.
And so I keep seeing all these films which feel like responses to this feeling of change approaching. A lot of my choices in the festival, I've been looking for meaning and sense that make sense of the present. And I know that they'll continue to not make sense, but it is in the search that I find hope.
Another film I love that embraced the unknown was Rose of Nevada, which is kind of like a dark fable, doom-laden folk song. It was shot on 16mm and was very visceral, tactile, and immersive in the sound design. Similar to Levers in that it was on the edge of reality and understanding, and similar to a lot of films that I saw, which were wrestling with time and the limits of memory and collective memory. And it built it up with like the ropes and the storms and the darkness. And the director wanted to leave things open-ended.
Well, the story's clear. It's a story as old as time. You know, somebody gets on a fishing boat and slips back 30 years. We've all been there. But for me, I can sum the meaning of this film up in one word. But I've got no interest in sharing that with an audience because...
Okay, him saying I have one word to describe it, I'm not going to tell you
that was awesome.
Bro, that was horrifying.
Yeah.
That was horrifying.
No, that's not that just felt genuine. That just felt like what you should do.
I think you can genuinely aura farm.
Okay.
That's my take. I'm not...
Maybe aura farming always seems like covertly embarrassing. Like if you're doing it like and people catch it, you're a turd. But he's rocking that fedora honestly ever since.
Yeah. It's like an aura gambit, you know?
Yeah. That's so fucking real. You're a prophet for that. Aura gambling.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a new thing. Jesus Christ.
One of like the buzziest films I saw was Frankenstein, just because I was an extra in it, and I went with my friend who I was also an extra with.
It didn't hit.
It didn't hit
the way I wanted
it.
It
Didn't hit. I mean, obviously not. I mean, I think it was not all the way there.
No.
But I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed our scene actually. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Our scene was great. It was nice because I knew all the words.
I know. We were like,
I was like, ah! That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Probably the best film I saw at the festival was Sound of Falling, which is another film that moves through time and memory. It kind of like weaves like back and forth between a century of time on a German farm following different girlhoods in different eras. It's the kind of art that can only exist as cinema. The way the sound and editing forges this like very particular poetic piece of humanity and can make a space feel sacred and like holy through the intimacy of each moment against this like massive scale. Here's me and Lucia's reaction to it while speed walking and out of breath.
It always felt like it was just tastefully mysterious, and you kind of like drew parallels in your head that you were like proud of yourself for drawing, even though she was like putting that all in front of you. Leaving enough said and unsaid.
Something unspoken in like mutually recognizing someone else's like gaze.
Yeah.
There's one scene where they're talking about it like they thought they had this like secret that they were watching me, but the real secret was that I knew and that I was watching them.
Yeah.
It felt like the entire culture of everyone there was this like layers upon layers of like recognitions and thoughts and looks and things that were recognized or unrecognized but never spoken about.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like a big like layer cake of perception. I don't know if that's a German thing or if it's just like a human thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a human thing, but it is probably also like, I feel like Germans are very passive aggressive. They're like people think they're really direct, but from my experience, they're very like they can be brutal for sure. but they're very, they speak around what's happening. Honestly, I feel like besides it being like just a great movie, I feel like I really like watching German movies. I like the sound of German, and just reminded me of my mother.
The next day I saw Blue Heron by Sophie Ramvari, another Canadian film, and another film dealing with time and memory, as Sophie is making this semi-autobiographical but fictionalized film excavating this moment from her childhood and the relationship she had with her brother, who had mental health issues that weren't able to be addressed by the family or even the social systems around them, and trying to kind of pierce or access that moment in time that's now been lost through cinema. It did get me thinking about the collective consciousness or like recurring themes. I'm seeing a lot of these films that are using this similar devices, but this film specifically is also very reminiscent, a film called After Sun from a couple years ago. Someone even asked about that during the Q&A, and I found Sophie's response pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually saw After Sun at TIFF, actually, and I remember reading the log line before, and I was already working on the script, and I was like... But then I saw the film, and I just deeply respected it, and I understood that I'm actually just part of a generation of filmmakers who are looking back and are reflecting on their pasts and are in therapy.
I almost feel like because you don't see him talk that much, at least I felt like the filmmaker wanted to be able to have that kind of scene where he was talking. I feel like there's no way that you could write it that would actually feel honest. And I think to try and fill in the gaps probably felt wrong.
Yeah.
I could imagine it would probably feel wrong. And like even at the end when there's a little bit of that, he's gone very quickly.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You don't have anything to speak for them with that would be accurate or,
Damn. People are...
There's a white Honda SUV in the middle of the road.
In the middle of the intersection. This car is making everyone a little upset, I think. I should get the interview like at the window. Like, how are you feeling about this?
Knock on the door.
The next morning I saw The Testament of Ann Lee, which was a film about the Shaker movement, religious movement. There was like really insane choreography, musical sequences, visceral portrait of the founding of a religious movement and religion in general in early America. And there was a whole scene about the sky going black for a day and how that affected the people. So I was connecting that to levers and the apocalyptic feeling. But yeah, I do feel like there was a shadow over the mood of the whole festival, at least for the people who are aware of it, because of a programming choice that was made to program this Israeli documentary, which I haven't watched, but from the subject matter and what I've heard about it, it seems like a piece of propaganda and drew like a large protest outside the screening, which I attended. And to me, it speaks to this moment of like reckoning with our art institutions here in Canada and how TIFF will kind of give into pressure, capitulate to playing a film like this. There was some pretty disturbing videos of audience reactions during the Q&A.
And now there is an overwhelming use of force, as we know, with over 64,000 estimated Palestinian deaths. So bring us if you can, Gally, back around. If you can answer, let Gally answer. Let Gally answer.
TIFF is showing an Israeli propaganda film. That's why we're here protesting. They are art washing the genocide. That's why we're here, in case you're wondering. Right here, right now, they are screening a film, spreading lies and propaganda in support of Israel. Nobody can deny that there's a genocide happening right now. It is a Holocaust. There is no excuse for what we are seeing. There has never been an excuse for the occupation. There has never been an excuse.
So while TIFF exists as this gravitational force in Toronto film culture, I wouldn't say it necessarily represents the voice of the film artists, many of whom strongly disagreed with this decision, and that did kind of linger over the mood of the festival from the people I talked to who were going to the films. Being in that mindset with all these kind of apocalyptic works and things about change and time, and then going to this protest, and then immediately after the protest seeing that Charlie Kirk got shot, and then now all the fallout from that with kind of the crackdown on free speech and everything. I mean, I'm not going to say anything new on that, but we are certainly encountering vast change. Things are happening very fast. The artist's job is to kind of reflect these things. That night I saw this film, Barrio Triste, set in Colombia following some teenagers who stole a camera and kind of a plunge into the unknown and darkness that they go on. And it becomes more and more dreamlike, out of body as it goes along. The director's stills remained anonymous in the audience, but his producers read a statement that he was making the film for lost souls that went into the light and trying to find the place that they went. And I really just let myself wander in that film space. It was like a sensory experience, part of the future and part of this moment that I've been describing. There's like terrifying confrontational scenes and also more drifting, kind of ascending moments, and it felt very honest and vital.
I enjoyed the non-trajectory of it, very much so. I thought it was going to be a lot more structured than it was, and the fact that it wasn't was like actually a very good surprise.
City Center, X-Ray Golf Charlie, we're looking to land at City Center. Is it possible to do a lap around the CN Tower?
X-Ray Golf Charlie, City Altimeter 3025, clear to City Control Zone for your orbit. Keep it north of the airport at 2500.
Yeah.
You just show up on your motorcycle?
All I know is that, sir, there was a plane, he flew over my head, and he was flying very low in a residential area, and I thought something was up.
City Center, I think I might have an engine failure.
X-Ray Golf Charlie, can you make it to the airport?
Negative.
X-Ray Golf Charlie, how many people on your aircraft?
We got 3 people on board.
X-Ray Golf Charlie, can you make it, maybe find a highway or a street that doesn't seem very busy or a park or something?
I am looking.
I was on my bike when it happened, but then someone told me that a plane crashed. I'm like, no way, that was a plane that just flew over my head. It never clicked that he was in danger, but I've never seen a plane fly that low over my head.
I'm landing at a soccer field. There are people though.
Okay, can you just maybe find a gap with no people? Mike Town, you probably heard they think they landed in a soccer field about near Bloor Street, about a mile and a half east of the Don Valley Parkway.
He must have struggled to try to make it to this clearing here, and he obviously.
Maybe he saw the field and then realized there was people on it, so went down sooner.
It doesn't matter. He would try to land here anyways because it's the safest spot to land.
Yeah.
People would move out of the way. You see a plane coming, they'd probably move. You had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yo, wait, is that a microphone?
Yeah, I'm with Donovanesque News.
Oh, Donovanesque News?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Hopefully, thank God no one died, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. That's about it. Yo, okay, so, how did he miss the whole field, though?
Yeah, how the fuck you missed it? I don't think just dirt to him.
You think he was going for that?
I think he was going for the field. He must have been. It's a big plot of land.
He got stressed on the first week.
Okay, it's either my life or theirs, bro. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yo, whoever made this fence is actually a savior. Buddy, we're almost victims of 9/15. You know this, right? 9/15.
Imagine just playing a game of fucking frisbee to see a fucking plane coming towards you.
So yeah, right after the festival ended, a plane fell out of the sky in my neighborhood next to my old high school. When I showed up at the scene, they were still playing ultimate frisbee on the field right next to the downed biplane. But no one was even injured. Miracle over Monarch Park. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want to write into the show, you can email me at donovanesquepod@gmail.com. Thank you to everyone who lended their voices to this episode. And just take a moment, place yourself into where you are right now, your surroundings. Well, we must move on. We must go forward and seek out things that challenge us, seek out the unknown, stick together, and speak our minds. Take care.